Hi, everyone.
Hi, buddy.
I hope you're doing great. Welcome to our Tuesday evening at 8 with the broad public out there. Anything goes.
Anything.
Anything goes. No, there are some things that I won't talk about, but if people ask about it, then I will just mention religion is definitely out.
It's probably a safe option. I mean, a safe decision to make.
Yes. Spirituality is fine, but religion is definitely not something I'm going to discuss.
It's actually, yeah, religion is so divisive.
Unfortunately,
we can talk about how divisive it is, ironically.
Yeah, definitely. But it's awesome to have 45 of you here with us. Please like this live stream. We want as many people as possible to see this. The last one hasn't even got 3,000 views. It's really pathetic. We need to get more people to watch these lives. We're going to try and keep it shorter because 2 hours, I think, is quite shocking for most people. I think most people are too busy to spend 2 hours of their lives to actually watch a YouTube live if they don't know what they are actually getting into.
I'd agree. It's a very long time.
It is. So we really need people besides the channel members to actually get into these live chats. And at this stage, we have none. It's all members.
It's like a Thursday, but on a Tuesday.
Yes,
which is
something
awesome.
like that. So we have 84 people in now. The only comment so far has all been from channel. There we have someone that's not a channel member. Awesome. Okay, more people commenting now. That's awesome. We really want everyone to be in these Tuesday evening live chats. It's open to the public. We're doing it every week. And it's something that we can commit to. In our busy schedules, I had a hectic day today.
Let's talk about what we used to do. Videos every single day.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff we weren't interested in to begin with.
Not just that. I think getting both of us, our schedules
aligned together.
Every day consistently was almost impossible. But this is really nice, and we want to really bring you valuable content that can help you change your lives, hopefully.
Absolutely. So it's really awesome having you here. We've got 100 people now very quickly. Hopefully we can grow this to where we have hundreds of people. On this channel, we've had over 800 people in live chats before. Normally, I would advertise them beforehand, but I want you to know that every Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock that we have this live chat on Dezz and Lauren. Both of us are there, and then Thursday evenings we'll both be there for the members live chat where we do specific things that the members are familiar with. And it's just great to have all of you here. And there's a lot to talk about. You can ask questions. There's no specific format. But I was watching something just a short while ago that was, I'm not sure if disturbing is the correct word. And it has to do with AI in sports, where AI is trying to level the playing field. In other words, saying that if someone is taller than a shorter person, the AI would calculate the advantage and then decide who the winner is. So in future in sports, what this video was trying to show was that a winner would be decided by AI. And what they think they want to do to get people convinced that this is the best way is to initially say that someone is still winning the high jump because they jumped the highest, okay? And they get a medal. But also then the person that is the most disadvantaged and actually jumped the highest based on their abilities would also get a gold medal. So how do you feel about this? In fact, I think I must probably give them a link to that.
There is a guy in Australia that made about 4 videos mocking this kind of society being developed. He was actually way ahead of his time. It was over 10 years ago that I think I watched this. I'm going to try to find it in the archives of YouTube somewhere, and I'll share it on our Telegram and community channel over here, community section of the channel.
Yes, so it's quite scary. I'm probably going to have to open it now to actually try and view it. And the heading is not, I was talking to Lauren about how divisive the heading of this is, but it's all about AI, literally. And it's actually quite scary. So just look at it from that context. Watch the entire video when you have time. There's the link. and how subtly they try and bring in a very divisive narrative that people are different and they are focusing on the differences. That's how they start. And then they talk about advantages. So in the end, women can compete against men, like literally in things like athletics. And at the end of the day, they can decide who won based on what AI determined the person is the best at once you cancel out all the disadvantages
So it's
the
like
person has.
an equitable algorithm,
Yes, yeah.
which makes you all the
Literally.
same.
All of us exactly the same. So, and you must trust the AI to do that and how the AI is programmed. So everyone's body needs to be scanned from top to bottom.
Well, they use this on politicians.
But this is where the world is going. So just go and watch the video. Don't believe a word I say. Go and listen to it and tell me what you think. What did you people think of a substation just getting its cables cut? I've had some people say no. I'm sure they wanted to come back and steal the cables. The person in the video clearly says that the cables were just cut and all the control cables were cut too. So it's not just big copper that these people were after. The fact that all the controls, the control switches, all the control cables were cut is really worrying. And knowing that there's people in the country that wants to destabilize us is frightening. But earlier today, I listened to a presentation from a manager at Koeberg Nuclear Power Station that played Dr. Suleiman from Gift of the Givers, a talk that he gave, and it was extremely uplifting, where he was speaking about all the positive things us as South Africans can offer. And everyone in the meeting found it very inspiring. And, if you are positive about what this country has to offer, what the people in the country has to offer, we can set these things aside that's happening in the rest of the world. I can't see how AI is going to determine the winner here in South Africa. I just can't see it. And that gives us a huge advantage, doesn't it? Our people don't care about this nonsense.
I'm not sure, actually. I think there's a lot of...
The majority of
obedient
people, I don't think, care about this nonsense in the country. I think there's pockets of people that will promote it.
Definitely.
And in the city of Cape Town and in the Western Cape, certainly, things like that could be promoted. How the people or the voters for these entities and whatever you want to call them, how they'll respond to it, I don't know.
I wish I had my glasses.
If the kids are brainwashed.
That's the problem. The youth is the problem in a sense because of the school system. The education system has failed everybody. And unfortunately, it's become normal for people to send their children to school to get an education. But you don't get an education. You get taught to think and act in such a way that you'll be a good employee one day, not an employer. And that's a catastrophe. So I'll never let my kids set foot in a school because they'll just grow up to be losers because that's what the school does. You have to rise. I went to school. You went to school.
Yeah.
You have to rise above your education. You have to succeed in spite of your education at school. And that's just a sad
certainly.
reality.
I don't think school with the education side taught me anything that I couldn't learn in a year after school.
Yeah, life teaches you much better.
Besides that, I mean, the theoretical side of things, most of it I learned within the first 2 to 3 years after school. I could learn way more than I could ever be taught in school. The teachers in school were so useless compared to the people I experienced at Koeberg Nuclear Power Station, the level of instruction I received there, the type of person that taught me. I mean, these people knew their subject matter. They were experts at it because they applied it. These people weren't academics. They actually ran nuclear submarines, nuclear power plants, etc. The stories they would tell was absolutely fascinating. We would just hang from their lips as they told us about all the excursions, years under the ice, the Arctic ice, etc. Absolutely fascinating. And the debauchery that goes with being underwater, bunch of men together for a long period of time. Yes.
Not healthy.
Not healthy. No, not at all. Check your shoes before you put them on.
Ah.
Yeah. Do you want to go get your glasses quickly?
No, it's fine. I'll just squint and I'll look like a weird person. It's fine. Because I actually don't know where they are. One of many places. So there's some interesting comments. I hope everyone saw the very first introduction to Module 1, which was uploaded on Saturday morning, I think. Saturday lunchtime.
No, there's some ungodly hour in the evening, probably.
No, it was Saturday lunch.
Are you sure?
So that is uploaded. You can expect another one this coming weekend and another one next weekend. And we'll try to do more than one a week because we really feel the urgency in getting this information out there. Those of us that have been with this channel...
Just tell them how many hours it takes to make 1 5-minute...
Before I get there, those that have been with this channel and with OHM over the past few years, the first few videos that you're going to see will probably seem like obvious information to you. Keep in mind that we are creating this for the broader public, for absolutely anyone, whether you're a 15-year-old in school, whether you're working somewhere, whether you're unemployed, whether you're homeless, whether you're a housewife, whether you're privileged, whether you're poor, it doesn't matter. We're making this for the broader public. You don't perhaps understand the origins of the problems in South Africa. And I noticed there was a comment here in our chat box about the EFF and the ANC. And if you understand the essence of the video on the Mika training, the introduction, you'll see that that's really not a problem.
No.
The political parties that rule and participate in our political sphere, they are not the problem. There's much bigger problems. You have to tackle the root cause of the problem in South Africa. And then when you tackle the root cause, you work your way from that until you get a solution. And that's what we're trying to help people understand.
And if you don't get that through to people, they'll focus all the energy in the wrong place.
And
you need to start with you.
This is so
you are the problem. The first problem
all we truly have is energy and time. And what we do with the energy, with the time that we have. So if you waste your breath and your energy and your
cursing
capacity,
at Julius or it's
Marsha, so sorry to hear your unemployment status. Hope to get something soon.
Reinventing is probably one of the best things that we can do. Often, times like this can be seen as an opportunity. I've said many times before, politicians that promise people jobs, they want to create people that are subservient and they want to be praised for giving you the job. That is a position of weakness. It's like if we have to negotiate with the rest of the world from a position of weakness, you're groveling. It's like Cyril speaking to Klaus Schwab on the 17th, which was Sunday, I believe. In New York, they had a meeting. I put out the video. It went viral on Twitter. And it was sent to me by someone that sends me content quite often. And this specific content was quite important because it speaks to things that my dad said in the past. And let me just make clear, my dad would have been kissing Klaus Schwab's feet. Okay, you need to understand that him and Klaus Schwab would have been BFFs. This is the first thing people need to understand about him. He would not have been Klaus Schwab's enemy at all, by no means. So Klaus Schwab has a very important history, especially that of his dad. I'll speak about that in 2 weeks' time on Saturday, when I will be presenting South Africa's hidden nuclear history, because they have a role to play in the big scheme of things. But someone like Klaus Schwab in the world right now is making our president Cyril Ramaphosa look absolutely pathetic. In that exchange, I mean, who looked in charge? Klaus looked completely in charge. It's like Cyril was groveling at his feet. For what? And you will see in the past that the World Economic Forum has actually organized meetings with hundreds of business leaders to invest in South Africa, but it always comes at a price. And that price is never shared with the South African public, just like they didn't share with us all the vaccine contracts that were laid out where our government literally groveled for vaccines for the people, and global corporation dictated to them. That's a position of weakness. Someone actually said today that we should just do a coup on the government. The citizens should rally up and get rid of them. And I said, are you absolutely insane? The moment you do that, some crazy leader will rise up, and these people from the committee of 300 will just pass some money along, and this person will be dancing to their tunes. You would have achieved nothing. And this is why Amiga training is so important. Empowering citizens. Not to empower me, Lauren, or any of us. We don't ever have to meet you. The training that you'll receive will help you to become a stronger individual. And then you can negotiate from a position of power in your life first, so that the country can later negotiate from a position of power. If we have hapless, useless citizens, how can we be in a position of power? Anyone can just walk in here and do to us whatever they want.
That's the problem, and you'll see from our Amiga training, one of the things that's mentioned there is that the state of the government is the reflection of the people, all the people together. So our inaction and how we think about life and how we think about the world, how we approach the world, or life in general, will be reflected by the state of the government. That's a very hard pill to swallow. Someone asked further up, Dezz, are we really the problem? And I know that you've gotten so much criticism by people for saying that we are the problem.
Yeah, we are having a government in this country that's an average reflection of the people in the country. So we deserve the government we have. So if we do not change, our government will never change, because we still want services from them.
Am I plugged in?
Yeah, absolutely plugged in.
Move this up. Sound is soft.
Did someone say the sound is soft? Your sound is soft.
Yes.
Okay. You've been gained to the maximum. Definitely. Can you hear her now when I knock? That's a condenser mic. Can you hear that? I don't actually see anything.
How weird.
There.
I also don't see anything.
Yeah.
A person's value is the sum average of those around them. And then another beautiful quote. That was Florial. And now the errant says, I can't see.
Sorry.
Change starts with the individual. If we can't change ourselves, how can we change the country? And it is about taking that personal responsibility, and then taking that responsibility collectively.
And once you take that responsibility, you can start to effect change. And when many of us do it, no sound from a mic. That's odd.
I'll have to get closer.
Yeah, you're very soft when you speak normally. But this is strange. Now it definitely peaked like crazy. Still nothing. That's interesting, because that is a condenser. Okay. Sound is good. Your side. Okay. I did check last time when we plugged in Lauren's mic. It did make a difference to the sound. Lauren just speaks very softly. Okay. Nothing. No, JVD Knives understands. He understands sound. So there was nothing when I tapped it. Strange. Okay, I'll have to figure it out another time. At least we've got a big condenser in front of us. Or else you're going to have to put it like at your mouth. Put it at your mouth and talk into it and see.
No, stop it.
Hey,
I can hear Lauren quite well.
Can you hear me now? Is it loud and clear? There's nothing. There's nothing there.
Nothing's happening. So it's picking me up over there. I'm just closer now. It's fine. Technical difficulties.
Oh, you do speak very... I mean, I'm like a boombox.
You don't have to tell me. I live with you.
Shame. Yeah, just have some sympathy for Lauren.
Not a sausage. That's probably the most random
And in the middle of conversation, how is that possible? YouTube has done all sorts of changes, so I need to learn how to navigate them. There shouldn't be adverts in the middle of the live stream. How on earth does that work?
Someone, Marsha, said that she got personal fitness training experience and she's offering her services in the South Coast. I just want to say to everyone, we have OM. OM has a group called Independent Living, saying goodbye to government and corporate control. It's on Facebook. So if you join that group, if you have a service or product that you sell personally yourself, then you can share that on that group. Write about it. Make it personal. Don't just share your page, but actually say, hey, I am Marsha and I am a personal fitness trainer in the South Coast. So make it personal. So anyone can do that at any time.
I'll just put on instrument and went ballistic. So, okay, so there's a lot. Yeah. That's okay. We'll figure out.
Switch this off and just use that.
Yeah, well, you have the mic, yeah. So that's fine. Just speak loud enough. You're going to pull it out. Let me first put the volume way down. Okay. So, people, there's quite a few things that I want to talk to you about. The one thing that I want to tell you is that what you see in the media with regards to Eskom and especially Kuburg is based on people not understanding technicalities. And the people at Kuburg and Eskom is not going to give public details on things that they don't understand. So just so you understand, when we start up a unit after an outage where the steam generators have been replaced, there's actually 2 times that we synchronize. You go onto the grid, you supply power to the grid, you do tests as you go up in power, and then you shut the plant back down for further tests, and then you start it back up again. And then when it's back up at 100%, that's the date that the minister eventually gives the public when the unit will be back. But it's been producing power for a period of time already while everything is being tested. So people don't understand, and this takes about a month. Okay, that period of time. And, initially they would give people the date that the first synchronization will take place. Later, they'll give you the date when the units are 100% power. These dates don't correlate, but it's part of our schedule of starting up the plant. So when you get confusing articles, just remember that I know the truth because I'm right there. And secondly, is that it's all perspective, people not understanding technically what's happening. So the media shouldn't be speaking about things that they don't technically understand. They should keep their mouths shut. If the minister wants to say anything, what he should say is by that date, we expect the unit to be at 100% power. And although that takes time to get there, you're producing power in the meantime, and that's it. Then that would be more accurate. But to say that, poof, bam, you just on a date, there you are, you synchronize and you're at 100% power. That's not how it works. You've done major changes to the plant. You do commissioning tests. This is normal in any plant in the world. So our media is not good at portraying things. And many people that call themselves experts over the next couple of months will come out with the biggest load of garbage. And, they could just contact me and I'll tell them exactly how things work within the scope of what I can say. If they are interested, but they're not interested in truth. They are interested in spreading twak to try and be relevant because they've never synchronized generators onto the grid. They've never run nuclear reactors. I have. I've actually taken a reactor critical. I've synchronized unit 1, this specific unit now, many times to the grid. So I'm speaking from a position of being an expert. And these people are not. There's no expert speaking publicly on any news channel, on any newspaper outlet, anywhere. These people are wannabes, all of them. None of them have ever generated anything at Kuburg Nuclear Power Station. I can guarantee you that. They have no idea what they're talking about. So you can just tune in and I'll keep you updated.
Some very funny comments today. David says they're never synchronized in my reality. And hello, Theo Swanepoel. I don't think I've seen your name in the comments.
Yeah,
welcome.
Yeah, welcome to everyone that's joined you.
Are you going to talk about electrons and wheeling?
Oh my word, I have to. I stripped my mood the other day, like literally, when I saw the city of Cape Town come out with this twak story about they are wheeling electrons from, I think, is it not Bishop's Court, Constantia Village.
Shopping center.
They are wheeling power from there to somewhere in the foreshore, I think. So what they're actually saying is power that we're generating there, we just say that you're paying, this other company is paying for that power. But that's twak, because when you connect it to the grid, you are supplying that power into a grid. That grid is countrywide because the Cape Town grid is connected to the national grid. It's all one massive freaking grid.
It's like saying I'm drinking rain from like this date on that year.
Yes, from another place because that rain is better. Yeah, that's basically what you're saying. So I call it word foolery. And there were people trying to defend this. I mean, these people are insane. They belong in mental institutions. And, you know, the mayor of Cape Town was obviously seeing the praises of this first deal. All they're trying to do is say they are buying solar from there. They don't have to be affected by load shedding. This is actually what's happening. Internal to what they call the Cape Town grid. They can wheel and deal all they want if they separate from Eskom. So I dare Mayor Jordan Lewis, cut the breakers, okay, at Mulder's Vlei. Cut the breakers at Aurora. Cut all these breakers, you idiot, because I actually know national control. I know the people at the region because I spoke to them. You freaking idiot. Okay, cut all those supplies and then show me how long you will remain mayor in your seat, whether you last a day or two. That's what I want to see with your wheeling and dealing, literally. So Jordan, at the next by-election, come talk to me. Idiot. Really.
You're so passionate about power.
There's too much small man syndrome floating around. And, you know, people like this needs to be taken apart.
I
literally.
think it would be great if journalists knew how to ask the right questions.
You know, I remember in 2006, I was giving information to most newspapers and one specific TV outlet because they wanted proper information to give to the public with what was happening. And that helped because now you actually had an expert that's involved giving proper information. And the country is very forgiving when they actually know what's happening. But when there's this wheeling and dealing and lying and deceiving, I mean, that's nonsense.
I love Dezz's rants.
No, I don't know how to hide how I feel. I just say it as it is.
No electrons were harmed
in the making of this program. Yeah, thanks for the disclaimer.
So shall we talk about the cancellation of a public figure?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know how many of you have been following I suppose we're seeing the preview of Russell Brand's Cancelling in Society, which is just I suppose an obvious sign of the censorship we have globally. And I'd love to know what people think about it. So all these allegations of rape and abuse and all the rest are coming to the fore. And who is not quick to sympathize with any woman that has been abused or misused in any kind of way? So I find this very, very fascinating. He's always been, as far as I can understand, honest about his sordid past.
Yeah, very honest.
That's beautiful. And now his very past that he's been honest about is coming back to bite him because he happens to have an enormous channel that speaks about being awakened.
It's now been demonetized. And he has over 6 million followers. You see, the moment he started having festivals where people come together, it becomes a problem. So, yeah, I mean, we have done things the way we've done it to make sure that we don't sit in that situation where you can carry on with the work, where you work on the ground. It's very important. That's why I've never wanted this channel to grow too fast. It needed to grow organically. The moment you grab attention like that, people will attack you left, right, and center, and they can do to you whatever they want. Although we've been open and public to be ridiculed and called out by anyone that wants to. They can call us whatever they want. There's absolutely nothing that we've held back. People can call us, and they have called us everything you can think of, probably.
Yeah, I know it's true, but no one's perfect. It's when you're actually being accused of something you did or did not do.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I could see he was rattled. He made a 2-minute video where you could see that Russell was rattled, and I feel for the guy. Fortunately, I can say is I did not have a sordid past. I had a clean past, very clean,
very squeaky,
squeaky, and that's just. It was just my upbringing and many other things.
Love it, Lana. Have you seen those women? They need Muller for more plastic surgery.
Which women?
The accusers, I suppose.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked at the detail since. I don't have time for that. To me, what was important was his response, his reaction. And I mean, I don't know, as a person, he contacted me very early on when Dezz, the channel's old name, when that was really growing, the information that I had. And I refused all interviews at the time. London Real contacted me. There were many big channels that wanted to interview me. And I could have done those interviews and exploded the channel. That would have been the worst thing that I could do at the time. It would have been the end of the channel in South Africa. Tour wouldn't have happened. It would have been a complete disaster. So the way that we've done things is the right way. Now, if you don't believe it's the right way, do it yourself. I've told people, come up with your own plans, start your own platforms. Don't use our platform to promote your twak. Create your own. I believe that the best plan will always win. So if you come up with a plan that's better than the one that Lawrence come up with, and I support Lawrence's plan because it's brilliant. If you can come up with a better plan, then you should promote it. Absolutely. You should create a website. You should create the platforms where you promote this. And if other people believe in it, they will follow that plan. It's that simple. So the method that we have chosen is the most perfect method to improve civil society, because we encourage other people with other ideas, even polar opposite ideas, to promote their ideas. That's what you should do. And then you can have debate. Let the public choose. Now, a lot of people, like dictators, they don't want the public to choose anything. They want to tell the public what to do. And our government's not very different. We actually believe that people should have the ability to cock up badly, like stuff up.
If you think of it from a completely human instinct point of view.
Louder, hey, that's very soft.
Sorry, I haven't got my thingy anymore.
No, just speak into the
Bring
microphone.
it forward. I'm chilled here. Sharing ideas is the most basic form of social interaction. Yet, I don't think actually people really do that. People talk about shallow things, generally speaking, out of politeness, out of trying to remain professional, whatever it is. Very seldom are there spaces, and I speak from personal experience from youth up until now, where people actually engage actively in sharing ideas with each other. It just doesn't happen. Yet that is the most basic, fundamental foundation of conversing with people in society, sharing ideas.
And improving.
That's how you improve society.
In the first Omega training video, the one thing that stood out to me, because I also watched it for the first time. Lauren doesn't share these things with me beforehand. She says, "Oh, it's loaded," and I just actually saw it pop up. And when I watched it, the one thing that stood out to me is, actually, there were a few things. There was quite a lot loaded into one video. But the one thing that stood out to me is our accountability. In other words, not blaming government or blaming the parties, that we are accountable for the future we have, for the government that we have, and that's absolutely true. And besides that we, through our actions, becoming more independent, self-reliant, not relying on government and corporations, we can make a massive difference. And even if there's just First 100 people, then 1,000 people, then 10,000 people. 10,000 people in this country being self-reliant will make a huge impact on this country. It'll have a massive impact. And I mean, the independent living group on Facebook has over 5,000 people on there already.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's significant, and that's an own initiative that you started. Oh, that was a long time ago, eh?
I started that really long ago, and I really did nothing with the group up until during COVID, I think.
And
During
then
the
it
whole
just
pandemic.
exploded.
Yeah. And then it did, it's been growing steadily. I wouldn't say exploded, it's growing steadily over time, and I'm sure it will grow a lot more. And what makes it different to other, I suppose, self-reliant themed groups is that it's not just about growing vegetables, it's about growing a community of people taking charge of their lives. And we really want to focus a lot on people promoting what they do personally to earn an income and survive in this world.
I think the most important thing I took from the Omega training video, the introduction, was that conflict can help us to improve. Now, we are supposed to, in Parliament, have debates.
What did everyone that's seen the video, what did you think of the conflict aspect of it? Because a lot of people will think, you don't agree with me, therefore you're my enemy, or I don't like this political party, they're my enemy, and we don't see it that way at all.
No, you should listen to what other people say and consider everything that they say. And I do consider everything that people say. Even if they might think that I don't understand it correctly or whatever, I consider it from my perspective as best as I can. You have to listen to other people. And then you can just shove it aside if you think it's problematic or doesn't serve any purpose of yours at that point in time. And I have to do that with many things, especially when it's rubbish like flat earth and other tripe. And just carry on, because we actually have work to do that is super, super important. And a lot of people have said to me, Desmond, why do you attack certain ideas or ideologies? And it's simple. They are attached to many others. So it's a problem that you would normally find around the QAnon movement or the Jasara Nasara movement or many others that are hugely problematic. So you can tie them all together. So don't think that I don't understand the broad picture. We have traveled this country as a family. We have met with thousands of people. I don't know anyone else that's actually gone through that effort to have a tour like that. And it's helped us to understand so many perspectives. And the one thing that we did during that 18 months of touring is learn a lot. I mean, there's so much we learned.
I have an
from
infographic on, and I've never shown you this infographic, and I can't find it now.
There's very few things you show me.
Sorry.
Lauren does her own thing. So
Anyway, it's an infographic on all these different beliefs and the levels of those beliefs that correlate.
Did you create it?
No, I found it.
Okay.
It's floating in the internet. Someone says, they're from Zanzibar. So they're saying hello from was it Rosalie? So welcome from Zanzibar. Do you live there? Are you on a holiday? Tell us. We want to know. Ed Wobble says cancelling is modern day assassination. It is. It's like in 1984 when you get vaporized. I see it in the same light. And I think it's really tragic to see this happen. Someone said that they don't like Russell Brand. He's like a suspicious person. Not exact words. I'm paraphrasing. Someone says,
that's fine. Just remember, this is not about liking or not liking Russell Brand. It's about a circumstance that's happening around this person. So when we speak of Russell Brand, that doesn't make us a Russell Brand supporter. If I speak of Jacob Zuma or anyone else, it doesn't make me a Jacob Zuma supporter. If I speak of anything in a favorable way, I will speak of something specific. I might even compliment the Democratic Alliance on something that they are doing. That doesn't make me a DA supporter. I hate the guts of that organization and the brain trust behind them, because I understand what they are doing. I've spoken to those people. So if you haven't done our last 4 courses, you will battle to understand us, like really battle, because you're still in primary school mindset. It's not going to work.
I love it. I love Afrikaans. Dezz, off topic, but I'm not even halfway through one of the 4 books you recommended, Holy Blood and Holy Grail. And
Shame.
Yana You're right. The more you know, the more you realize you know nothing.
Yeah.
How is that mystery in the beginning of that book that's still not solved today?
Yeah.
It drives me and my oldest child insane. We want to know.
So our oldest boy has read the Holy Blood and the Holy Grail. He's 14 now. He read it when he was 12 and 13. Yeah, around that time.
Oh, yes. What they're doing to Russell, they did to the Tate brothers. Trial by media is a farce. The Me Too movement is a psyop.
Yeah. So training, VAM, Cape Independence, please do a stream more in depth on why this won't work. People need to wake up to this.
I suppose the only reason we haven't, or that I haven't wanted to focus on it, is because we don't feel like getting dislikes and bad comments because it affects the algorithms, literally.
So that movement is not very different to the flat earth movement, where they pack onto you like you can't believe. It's actually quite, they're very well organized, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. For people to organize is a great thing. When they don't understand basic physics, that's a very different thing. So to me, when you are arguing with basic physics that millions of people have observed through experiments, there's something wrong with you, okay? When it comes to Cape Independence specifically, there's groups within Cape Independence that are very well organized that can shut this channel down in no time if they want to. So all I will say is there will be a secession battle. It's ongoing right now. So the first thing was the Zulu kingdom needed to be destroyed. I said it before it happened, and 2 to 3 months later, it actually started in earnest, that Eskom will be destroyed. And I said this 3 years ago, that this is part of the elitist plan. People outside South Africa that will use people here to orchestrate these plans. And then the secession battle will start. I never spoke of Cape Independence specifically. It's an absolutely ridiculous notion. Because when we travel the country, people in the rest of the country say they'll come here and donor the oaks that want to put a border up here. And that's what they'll do. They'll just come and bliksem you because they want to come here to the beach and they want to run into the ocean at Melkbos Strand, absolutely freeze to death, and they run out again.
Too cold.
Yeah. They want to have the freedom to move around in the country. So what you would have to do is bring the whole of Transvaal here. They must live here, migrate here, whatever. And the moment you have all these cameras that have facial recognition that the DA is already using on the N1 and so on, once you have that plastered everywhere and these guys start shooting it down with shotguns, because that's how they operate. They like the oaks in South of America, in the red states, that's typically called the rednecks that shoot squirrels for fun. Once those guys are down here, they're not going to take this twat, okay? And they're going to rip this flippant DA apart by its ankles. The DA is practically dead because Herman Mashaba is now getting the funding from the very same people. As we said the other day, the Oppenheimers, and this was in the members chat, the Oppenheimers are now funding Mashaba. So he's just taken over the role. So they're beating the drum on both sides. It doesn't matter who is there. If they don't want system change, they're not helping you. At the moment, OM is the only party that's asking for the system to change. That hasn't got policies. That's beautiful, because all OM is focusing on is getting us to elect our leaders directly, to have a more accountable democracy. That's all. And it's not perfect. It's a lot better than what we have now.
We're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
Did you do a video on it?
No, I didn't.
Cool.
We should talk about that. Pravin Gordhan. We almost have 200 people in the chat now. Thanks for joining us. There's something quite important that we're going to be discussing now. And this is a proposal that Pravin Gordhan has put before Parliament in a bill. And the fact that he is putting it before Parliament, not someone else, tells you that there's more behind this. Where he's talking about the state creating this company that will be a holding company for all the other state companies like Eskom, Spoornet, and all the rest. Okay. And then the president will appoint a board that will then oversee all of them. And they said this is to remove political interference in these companies like Eskom. How is that going to remove political interference?
It's almost similar to
It's like they
how,
have full control over the whole lot in one go.
it's similar to how the president appoints the commissioners of the Chapter 9 institutions. It's very similar in that sense.
Yeah.
Because the Chapter 9 institutions are independent of government.
This is like the IEC and the public protector
Yeah,
and
those
so on.
things.
Just
And
so
this is
everyone
kind of the
knows.
same thing.
Yeah.
He's electing the board to the private company that's going to administer the SOEs. That's hilarious.
They say that this is based on the which countries? It's China, and which is the country that where Helen Ziller and Patricia DeLille just praised them? Singapore and Malaysia. I believe they say that those three countries use the same model, where you have one overarching company that oversees all the other companies. There's one board, and the president appoints those people, and they can be politicians. This is the thing. Now they're saying that will open up the opportunity for these companies to employ people that are good for the job, that can actually do the job. Hello. Okay, the deployment will be far worse under the system. They'll now have full control.
All I know is that...
Oh, and the Department of Public Enterprises will be done away with. So Gordon won't exist anymore.
Yeah, public enterprises will be replaced.
Yeah.
All I know is that humanity can't progress as long as government has all this power. It's insane. Hi, Jared. Oh, when was the channel changed? Good question. When was it? So Dezz and I started...
It's a few months ago.
No, first we started a third channel. So I had my channel. He had Double O Dezz. And then we started something called Stranger Than Fiction, where we spoke about all the weird things happening in the world, more on a global scale than on a national scale. And then we just felt like we were doing too much repeat work. So we combined it 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's about 3 months ago.
So we
combined all the channels into one, which just made it so much easier. And with all the work we're doing now, I mean, making the Omega video, a 5-minute video took hours.
It's because it was the first time.
It still takes a long time. So many of the things that we have to produce with the courses in between, because in between we've done 10 what we called Stranger Than Fiction courses, then STF courses for self-improvement, and then 4 level 2. So we call those level 1 courses, then level 2 courses, 4 of them, which helps you to integrate. You use your senses, your mind, etc., to integrate and to be able to see the world in a different way, integrate better with the world. What's so funny?
No, I was just thinking of something.
Okay.
Comments.
So those level 1 and 2 courses we now call Omega level 1 and 2, and they are workshops. Okay. Then we do presentations. I've done presentations in the past, the Exit series presentations, and I just did a presentation on living with radiation. So all of you can book that. The recordings are already uploaded to YouTube. They're in private, so only the people whose emails we actually list specifically can view them. And many people have booked for the recording, but we had over 40 people actually attend that presentation. And I'll do future presentations. The next one will be on the hidden history of nuclear in South Africa. So I'm looking forward to that. I will only present things I'm an expert on. Otherwise, it's pointless. Yeah, and maybe we'll do some combined presentations in future. We thought of something that was needed just this morning.
Did we?
Yeah.
This morning?
Or was it yesterday?
I can't
remember. A lot of our life is just a blur. There's just so much that happens.
There's lots that happens.
All the time.
Okay, any last thoughts on this?
So what do you think of Pravin Gordon wanting to do away with public enterprises, creating a whole new company that then has all of these SOEs under that company? I mean, how on earth is this going to improve things? I just can't see it.
Yeah.
Why do the globalist elites want secession? No, it's just destabilization. So it's not about, they don't want secession. If they can get a foot in the door in an area and cause that instability, it's a very easy reason for the United Nations to form an interim government here. And as I've said before, my father also said, other people have also verified, people with proper knowledge of these plans, 2025 is the year that they are aiming for to actually put an interim government in place. I've said it before many times in live streams. It's all on the channel. You can go and watch them. 2025 was the year where South Africa's this transition government needed to come to a full, complete grinding halt. So many things are happening around the country to make that happen. People that sabotage substations, just cut the cables. That's sabotage. I mean, that's not theft. When I traveled the country, I said, no one's going to do anything to fix the water supply infrastructure. And it's not happening. So in 3 years since I toured, that's exactly what's happening. The infrastructure is not being fixed. The whole plan is that the country is on its knees because we resisted many globalist ideas in the past. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we turned around as a country and rejected many of the things the World Health Organization wanted to impress on the citizens of the country. And, we ended up selling most of our vaccines to other countries. That's all I'll say.
Yep. Before you see the little thing at the bottom of the video.
Yeah, bottom of the video. We get our little bars at the bottom of the video.
So someone here is asking, training VAM. What does VAM stand for? I'm curious. Lauren and Dezz would love a game plan for small towns. How can they work around the government and economic issues? And we have a plan through OHM.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a certain, you have to follow a certain pattern here, and you can't escape it. Everyone wants action immediately, but you first have to grow in numbers. That leads to organizing. That leads to mobilization. Everyone out there just wants to jump straight into mobilization without doing the work that will be worthy of mobilization. It's one of the most frustrating things in the world. Oh, but we must do something now. Who's we? 5 people. You and 5 people. No, we need the numbers first. You have to recruit.
Organize numbers. People that are well trained.
You have to do the
skilled.
Unpleasant work of recruiting for the vision of liberating South Africa. And it's unpleasant work.
Firstly, you need to exclude the nutcases.
Yeah, don't
this is important.
Yeah.
Exclude the extremists of any kind, exclude the racists, exclude the religious fundamentalists. Then people that want people of other religions to suffer or die.
You
have to exclude them.
Exclude people that are already like members of another political party. Deal with them later.
Yeah.
Find those.
They will come crawling. So we just need to find the people from all races, religions, and backgrounds that have got values and principles. And Dr. Suleiman said something interesting in that speech that I listened to earlier. It's an obvious thing. He said that people from all backgrounds should build what unites them on values. And that's exactly what OHM has done. Values and principles is what unite people.
Not policies.
Not policies, exactly. Well, policies divide people, like vehemently divide people.
It is. In a truly free country, you need very little policy. And I think that's why you can see with our government, they're just making law upon law upon law, policy upon policy.
That's handed to them on a platter.
Yeah, that's probably the problem. And I think that's just the problem that we have. They're controlling every facet of our lives. I hate that.
Oh, what's this thing about ads?
I don't know.
Skip ads.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah. I just saw now it ran a thing at the bottom. Ads will run soon for the viewers, and I skipped the
Sonia, the thing is people do not understand how this will work. They are so used to the structure of how government works now. You just have to say to them, do you want to vote for your president or not? I suppose some people don't even see the value in that.
Why should we vote for our public representatives directly? And this is not this bill that was before Parliament that they're fighting over in the Concord now. This is very different. I think you need to just explain the huge difference.
It's usually different. The current bill, parties are still king.
Yep.
And then there's provision. There's a little bit of provision for an independent or two. And it's
they must be able to almost walk on water to
it's
get in.
really an independent or two. It's going to be extremely difficult for unrepresented political parties and independents to break the barrier and actually
Are
find
they
themselves
going
in
to get
parliament.
14,000 signatures?
I
mean,
know.
a US senator needs to get 2,000 signatures to run. 14,000. Are you serious, man? The biggest problem here is that the very people that are elected into this fraudulent system, and our system is a fraud. It's even against the current constitution. That's why the Concord found against it, said it's illegal and unconstitutional. They then gave the people that's part of the problem, the people in parliament, the job to fix the problem. How on earth do you do that? It's like saying to all the crooks in maximum security prison to solve the drug problem or the rape problem in the country. Let them all out and say, please go and solve the problem. This is how insane it is. And this is exactly what's happened. And now the Concord is checkmated. And it's good that this is now visible, because now everyone can see the wisdom of the plan that Lawrence come up with. It's the only way.
Yeah, so there won't be political parties anymore. OM will be the last party standing. It'll be gone. Parties will dissolve and won't be recognized by government in elections. So parties won't get funding. Parties won't be campaigning. It'll be independence.
Yeah.
When you go and vote, you'll see someone's face and someone's name, and that is it. And that makes a huge difference. There's a lot to the electoral system, and it's very different to what's being proposed right now in the Constitutional Court, because parties still rule the roost, no matter what.
Yeah, I love the fact that Florial says we need to be independent of the UK, not just the UK, influence from other countries. So South Africa needs to be in a strong position, not to negotiate, but to dictate. If anyone wants to negotiate with us, it needs to be on our terms. For that to be possible, the citizens need to be strong. The citizens. Because if the citizens are strong, no foreign army will survive here. I can guarantee you that. They won't last even a week if the citizens are strong. If the citizens are weak, like we are now, we are sitting ducks. Anyone can do anything to us. So with Omega training, we will be changing that. That's simple.
Yeah, someone was saying, I wish we could see security at these power stations that are being sabotaged. In the ideal world, with Omega training, citizens can be exactly that.
Oh, yeah. And the government will do nothing to you, because there needs to be that many of you that are organized, that you become the government. So you need to make the thing that you don't want irrelevant. When that thing is irrelevant, it ceases to exist. It's that simple. If you don't want a company, let's just take an example. Any company, if you don't want Pepkor or Pep as a company, as a shop to exist anymore, if everyone stops to shop at Pep for a month, it'll cease to exist. It's that simple. So the people can decide what they want to do. So when Lawrence speaks of organizing, you need enough people to have enough impact, or you're wasting your time. I remember with Leave Our Kids Alone, how everyone wanted to do something now. And what did you tell them over and over? Wait. Grow, organize. And I mean, you were working day and night to organize people.
It's 24/7.
And then there was one event. You chose one date, the most ridiculous date that only you could come up with. The day that the president gives his State of the Nation address. 50 venues, people took to public venues and read out a declaration.
Organized, I think the same with Leave Our Kids Alone and the same with OM. No one has leadership positions.
Nobody.
And I just saw a trailer to a master class, which I actually wanted to share somewhere on one of our group things. That it's a Marine that's giving a master class on leadership. It's just a trailer. I didn't watch the whole thing. But he said he wants his entire team to be leaders. He's not the leader. The whole team are made up of leaders. And I think that's so beautiful. It's the kind of mentality I've tried to adopt with Leave Our Kids Alone and with OM. That we all have to be leaders. We all have to bear the responsibility equally. He also said that a leader is not someone that shouts commands. He says during most things, he's completely silent while things are happening. There's no shouting and going.
You don't need to when people are trained. So, yeah, just read between the lines.
So there's a question that's
But
important.
I do want to mention what happened with Leave Our Kids Alone.
Okay.
So in 50 venues, people rocked up from all different beliefs, cultures, backgrounds, rocked up, and the government must have shat themselves.
Oh, in one place, there was a group of bikers. When I say a group, probably like 100 bikers that supported the Leave Our Kids Alone.
So when this happened, and you had these people in 50 different places showing support for this, and this is across racial lines, across religions, everyone was involved. That happened the Thursday. The Monday, the minister made the announcement that they won't make it compulsory anymore.
From teachers can be fired if you're not teaching it, to it's no longer compulsory.
It's no longer compulsory. That is how effective it was.
Unfortunately,
she wanted it all removed.
Disadvantaged schools, I'm sure, still got financial compensation for teaching it, and that is really tragic.
But that's bribery and corruption. It's still not forced because that was the main thing we were fighting against, and so it worked. Leave Our Kids Alone was a success, and it doesn't mean the threat is gone.
It did take 4 months of me doing non-stop work. Even though I was home, I wasn't present. I was on my phone. It was.
How many WhatsApp groups did you have?
For 50. Every single municipality in the country had a WhatsApp group, even if there were just 2 people in there.
Yeah.
So it gave everyone an opportunity to do something, even if there were just 2 people. I remember in one municipality, there were literally just 2 people handing out pamphlets on the day because that's all they had. But in other municipalities, we had up to 100 people. We had people go to the union buildings, people stand on street corners. No violence, no rioting, no obscuring traffic, nothing illegal, just spreading awareness. And having that peaceful, passive tactic paid off in the end because the government can criticize our strategy. And I suppose I can't say they listened.
They tried to attack. Well, no, they definitely had to listen. The other thing is you didn't side with any organizations. So neutral. People could become part of this out of their own volition. There was no you were this group or you were that group, even although people tried to draw you into all sorts of weirdness.
Of course, yeah, that's natural, I suppose. But I had to stay neutral. And if there were any posts that mentioned any political party, I didn't approve it. For instance, if anyone was even slightly discriminatory against someone for their religion or race, those people got banned. So we ended up with a community of active people that are focused only on the protection of the innocence of children and nothing else. They don't care about politics. They don't care about any other differences. They're just focused on protecting the innocence of children. And I maintain that as long as a child is in your care, you need to protect their innocence because they have their whole lives ahead of them to be adult and know of the sordid details of our world. While they are children, they need to be innocent. And I think that actually helps with how a brain develops and how a brain matures. It's extremely important. What says not found?
I think website.
Oops. Okay, but let's go back to a question.
You said there was an important question.
Yes,
somewhere.
About Omega.
Oh, and then we need to start closing up. Otherwise, this is going to be too long and then people won't watch it.
So Omega is going to be offered online to the public. So every week, once a week, if not more, we're committing to once a week. If we do more, it's a bonus. But we're committing to at least once a week rolling out a video that is Omega training based. We're starting with module 1, so it's in order. Module 1.
This is for the public, so this is not the advanced training applications.
The modules are the same, whether it's public or private. Public or advanced. And with it's
the same topic. It's not the same training.
Same topic, yes.
Yeah, the training will be vastly different.
Same topic though. So we're starting with Know Your Enemy, which is I think more of a theory based. As we go on, there'll be more practical things involved, even assignments, even for the public, to varying degrees. So every week, just look out for that. We started last week. We're going to be rolling out videos more and more and more. But if you want to be part of the advanced training starts when we have 800 approved people, 800 successful applicants. And we're already 20% there. I'm not sure.
No, more. 5%. Just over 40 people out of 800. Okay. Yeah, that's 5% there.
And so where is the
And
Email us.
that's not the full application, but
No.
the screening. The
You
process
can.
screening. So many people will do the screening and then not do the
You're
application.
talking about the whole thing, yeah. So you can send us an email, bookings. Maybe you want to type it, Dezz. bookings@omega.org.za. If you want to be part of the advanced training, it's mostly going to happen on Zoom. I mean, if there's room for us to travel to administer in-person training, we can look at it when the time comes. But
that will definitely happen with certain modules. There will be no option.
So it's a mixture of Zoom and in-person, and it's not secluded to a specific area.
We want people even that aren't able or that mobile to be able to do that training to get the knowledge. As part of the Omega Advanced training, there will be practical things that you can volunteer to do, and you will get recognition for the fact that you've completed them. I would highly recommend that you do when the time comes. It's going to test you, and it's absolutely up to you if you want to do it or not. But the application process, I suppose, is we do everything for a reason. So the application process is what it is for a reason. You're already going through a journey by doing that. Hopefully you're learning something about yourself. Some of the people have thanked us for actually going through that process. How many of you that have done the application process has found it introspective, etc.?
How long is the Omega course? Ongoing, Florial?
Yeah, it's not going to stop. It'll carry on indefinitely. So the public training that we're loading onto YouTube will obviously come to an end, but the advanced training will carry on indefinitely until we've changed this country, and then it'll carry on still, because OM will cease to be a party, and Omega is done separately to OM. OM needs the Omega training to effect the political change that is necessary.
Yeah, so we have some ideas stewing for Omega beyond just Omega training, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I think I want those things to start pretty soon, because it'll get a lot of people working on things that are necessary. But maybe you can tell them what the 3 main aims of Omega training is.
Well, it's an all-encompassing aim. It is preserving, protecting, and growing humanity. So it's all about humanity. And what is humanity? It's all the good stuff, all the good stuff that makes us human beings.
Yeah.
You know, our compassion, our desire for beautifying our surroundings, creating things of lasting value and worth. All that good stuff.
I'm trying to answer questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so with a screening is a screening, okay? The screening is a screening. The next section is not a screening. It's you getting to know yourself, and all of us getting onto an equal footing. The third thing that you have to do puts us on an equal footing for sure.
I like some of the comments coming through. Sue says, I'm being forced to think about things I don't usually have an opinion on through this training application. And Lorraine says, I'm busy with application for advanced training, and it's really forcing me to formulate clearly an amazing project, which is taking some time, but I'll get it done soon.
Yeah, take your time with that. You don't have to rush. Remember, we're only going to start when we have 800 people.
So Florial is saying, why can't you start before 800 people?
It's a test. The 800 was specifically chosen for a reason.
A funny reason. Anyway, well, because if all 800 are trained simultaneously, it is actually the fastest way to get to a point in this country where you can make a very strong impact. Need more water.
So if you just start now with a small group of people,
it's going to fizzle out.
It won't work.
The energy will fizzle out.
We understand what needs to be done.
So we just figured out this is the best use of time and energy to do it this way. Even though it might be painful for you, the other side of the application process, it's the best overall for the country itself. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Dezz. It was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Yeah, it was still a hectic day yesterday. I had plenty stress, not from my family.
From work.
Yeah, and then last night we could spend some nice time together. I must say, even now before this live stream, I felt like I could just pass out and sleep for hours.
Marlene, it's not necessary, but if you wish, you can go for it.
You can do it if you want to. The third requirement, I think, is a fun thing, and it makes all of us equal. I hope you understand.
Phil's frozen. I'm not sure if he means temperature or computer.
Yeah, I think it's in your area. We're fine. The internet's fine, you're full.
But this all brings us to the end of the live stream.
Yes.
If I have to live stream, if I have to summarize all of it, I won't
Do you want to
even
say
remember.
something about NASPAS and the...
Oh no, someone was
debauchery?
asking. Someone was asking about it.
So, you just need to... There are issues within NASPAS. I've told you that all the mainstays from before, all the people like the Oppenheimers, the Ruperts, Koos Becker of NASPAS, and Christo Wiese, their tenure to do the dirty work of the global elites is coming to an end. So there will be people replacing them. You will see people being pushed to the fore, and you will see companies rising above government. And just like you saw Cyril grovel at the feet of Klaus Schwab on Sunday, was it? Yeah, on Sunday. You're going to see a lot more groveling like that. You're going to see the DA becoming a lot more arrogant in the Western Cape. They have been promised support from overseas interest groups, so they will become a lot more cocky. And that's how I got to know them, when we were there. A very arrogant, it's like everything is a sure deal with them. I think they need a shock just for fun. Like, need another party to come and shake things up in the Western Cape.
Well, things are going to be shook next year.
Yeah, so to us, votes is not that important. Overall, we need a person in Parliament or a few people in Parliament to put that idea for the direct elections there, and especially the concept of system change. Someone needs to speak to that in that forum. Super important. What we need is the Omega training. Omega training is the most important thing, because if we can do Omega training with enough people, we don't need the current government at all. We'll be the government. It's that simple.
So the
AJ, true. Omi is a party to end
sorry
all
about
parties.
the ads. Dezz, we're getting lots of comments on ads.
What?
What's happening?
Okay, people, I'm sorry about that. I'll try and figure out. Earlier, it showed me at the bottom here that an ad is soon going to run, and then I stopped the thing. Maybe I missed it now because I wasn't looking on the screen. Okay, I'll try and figure out why
Fix
that
it on
is.
Thursday or next week. Yeah, because these are our first this is our second public. I wonder if it happened last week.
No, I don't think so. YouTube brought out new ways of doing things, and I don't normally read through it. I think I better go and look. They did say something about ads and how they will control our ads happen.
Oh, shame.
So maybe I had to unclick something at the beginning.
Yeah. Hopefully it's better next week, but thank you everyone for
So I'm sorry
joining.
about that. No ads last week. How many ads happened? How many ads happened today? Another ad just now. Wow.
No ads, yeah. It seems different for everyone.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, people.
It's weird. I saw 3.
3. Yo. I'm so sorry. So normally we will have ads at the beginning and at the end, but during there should be absolutely no ads. So I'll see what setting I need to sort out to fix that. But thanks for joining us for Tuesday night at 8 with Dezz and Lauren. It was great being with you. At least now every week we will be with you. So look forward to that. Hopefully we can grow this. We had about 200 people at one stage. So I don't know how many people came into this live stream overall. We'll see afterwards. There will probably be a few hundred people. And then we bought some to death. And they ran away. Something like that. People, so please apply for the Omega training if you want the advanced training. www.omega.org.za.
What are you doing?
What?
The website's
Oh,
not
that's the
working.
website. Goodness. So it's bookings at.
Correct.
I'm losing my mind here.
Indeed.
Okay, bookings at omega.org.za if you want to do that advanced training. Yeah, thanks for all the birthday wishes. 52. Goodness.
The spring chicken.
Hmm?
I saw someone on the internet at 92 still working.
I remember when I had my 50th birthday. It's 2 years later at
Monkey Valley. It
Monkey
seems
Valley.
like the other day.
Good night, everyone. It was really awesome having you.
Good night.
Good night.